Hi, this is Phil Winder. Today I'm going to be talking about the Kibana framework. We've been working behind the scenes to develop a project that reduces the amount of boilerplate code that we have to write for a new framework. So much so that the Kibana framework now doesn't even need any code. All it needs is a configuration file to pass to Mesos framework and Mesos-Starter. So just a little bit of background. Mesos-Starter is a project which is built upon Spring Boot, and it adds some extra code to communicate with Mesos and Zookeeper and the such. So all of the normal stuff that we do for every framework, all of the stateful stuff, all of the port handling, all of the resource handling and the scheduling, all of those things that are typical for every Mesos framework is all handled by this application. Applications then on top of that simply just pass a configuration file. So for example, if we're trying to run it as a Docker file, we will do docker run Mesos framework and then the configuration file. Or if you want to run it as Java, then you can just run it as Java with the configuration file again. So what does this mean for Kibana? Well, because Kibana is just a simple web app, we can completely configure the Kibana framework just with the configuration file and then just tell the configuration file to use the Kibana binaries. So I'm just going to give you a quick demo of what that looks like. So let's just take a look at the code before I do this. Oops, wrong button. Let's go here. So we have a marathon file that we're all used to. Very simple one just for testing purposes, but it can obviously be a lot more complicated. This is a jar mode example, and I'm downloading two files to the Mesos sandbox. One is the Mesos framework jar that I just mentioned. So this is the boilerplate code effectively, and also I'm downloading a custom properties file, jar.properties file as well. Inside that properties file, we have this, and this is all that's required to tell Mesos-Starter and Mesos framework how to run. So the key things here are all the resources, settings, ES location, all the useful stuff like that. But the main thing is these files down here. So we're telling each task to download a settings file, a kibana.yaml. So this is the Kibana settings file. And I'm also telling it to download the Kibana binary as well. So you can see that there. And then the command, I'm copying the settings file into the settings folder. And then we start the Kibana binary with the port selected by Mesos, the Elasticsearch address selected by us. Okay, so let's send that across to AWS. I've got a cluster with 3 nodes. Here we go. Staging, 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 running. So that's the scheduler that's running now. And these are the tasks. So these are the actual Kibana instances that are running. So this is the raw Kibana binary that's being run here. Just wait a few more minutes for them to all stage. They're all going. So you can see inside the sandbox we've got our custom kibana.yaml, and we've got the binary that's been downloaded and extracted. And let's just double check that the Kibana is also the settings file has been copied correctly. It has. Okay, let's take a look. There we go, Kibana is running. So just to recap, all of that was done with absolutely no code. So this is the project as it stands. There's some documentation, there's some tests with some JSON files, and there's a README. There's absolutely no code in there. So we're completely decoupled now from Mesos, from Kibana, from even the framework itself. And this provides us with all sorts of features that other frameworks could take advantage of. And I think this is really quite exciting because we can add features in Mesos-Starter and they'll automatically propagate through to the frameworks that are using Mesos-Starter. And I think it just makes it a hell of a lot easier to run and a lot easier for people to configure this configuration file to run exactly how they want it. So if they want to do some special command before they want to start Kibana, say you want to um, provide a default dashboard, for example, you could download the dashboard JSON by just adding another URI, like something like that. My dash, and then .json, and you could just add it to the command here to curl Elasticsearch with this data. So it's completely flexible to do anything you want really, and I think that's going to be really helpful for the guys that are using it in production. Okay, I think that's enough now. Thank you. Goodbye.